is this the Ultimate Party Superstore? Oh, good. This is Green Lucia. Green Lucia Lynchaclaw? Is there any way that I could speak to one of your party specialists? Oh, perfect. Yes, I'll hold. Thank you. Hello? Hi, this is Green Lucia. Green Lucia Lynchaclaw. Yes. Go ahead and sound it out. Spell it any old way. Uh-huh. Well, the reason I'm calling today is I have a friend, Buttlight, and I want to throw her the best goodbye party ever. I wanted to say goodbye, Buttlight, in the most festive way ever. It's gonna be me and just a few personal friends. We're not gonna be going too big with it because, we are coming up just in the tail end of COVID and all that good stuff. So we're not gonna go too crazy, but we do want to make it spectacular nonetheless. Can you help me with that? I sure would appreciate it. Well, I do want to add some personal touches. So I feel like we're going to have to give you some personal information so that you can personalize it or help to personalize it for Buttlight. Yes. What did you say your name was again? Lauren. You know I had a cousin named Lauren. Did you know that? You didn't know that? I gotta tell you, I spent the summer there when I was young. And I'm thinking I wasn't welcome. I'm thinking my mother just dropped me off there just to get rid of me. Because every day I woke up and you know what? My cousin put salt in my cereal every morning. And the mother, my aunt, didn't do anything about it. No? Can you believe that, Lauren? Does this sound like I was welcome? I don't think I was welcome. Anyway, I digress. I have a habit. I drift off. Do you ever watch that show, Golden Girls, Lauren? The reruns, the old reruns. You remember that character, Rose Nyland? Sometimes I feel like I'm her when I'm telling a story. Do you remember that stick up the ass B. Arthur, right? What was her name? B. Arthur. What was her character? Dorothy. Dorothy's bosom. Do you remember Dorothy? Bring it in for a landing, Rose. Right? You remember? Because you remember. Because every single time, Rose tried to tell a story. Remember old Saint Olaf? Oh my Jesus! Of those old Saint Olaf stories. She would just go off on those tangents. She could not bring this story home. Dorothy would always have to say, bring it in for a landing. You know what sometimes, so you might have to tell me to bring it in for a landing. All right. You just might have to say, bring it in for a landing, Lynchaclaw. Bring it in for a landing. You know what I mean? It happens. Anyway, back to Buttlight in this party. I really wanted to be spectacular. So let me tell you a little bit about, yes. So first of all, she is a mom. She's a mom. Now, I'm from the deep south, right? I'm a transplant from the north. Like many of us down here, we're transplants, but we take our deep south very serious. And down here, we would call her children, probably because they probably weren't properly raised, because she spends a lot of time on the YouTube. We would probably call them rugrats. That's what we call children down here that are probably a little buck wild. They're probably a little buck wild, so we will call them rugrats down here. And that's just the way it is. That's how it is down here in the deep south. So she's got a couple of rugrats running around up there, right? Wherever she's from. I'm not even sure where she's from. It really doesn't matter, but she's got a couple of rugrats because she's up there in the YouTube. She's having it rough. She's having it rough right now. Okay? Because apparently some people have been kicking at her, right? She says some people have been kicking at her from every direction on the YouTube. some other creators have been kicking at her and all that good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. That just doesn't sound like too much fun, does it? That poor thing. That poor innocent thing has just been going through it. People have been coming at her left and right over there on that. You know she's part of that furry community, Lauren? Lauren, you've heard of the furry community? That's where people dress up like furries, ponies and horses and bears, oh my, that kind of thing. Well, there's a whole slew of them over there. They dress up like the ponies, and they call themselves the Clydesdales and the ponies and the high horses, and they all have their roles. They all have their roles, and they just do their thing. They jump over fences, and they giddy up and they put reins on each other, and they gallop, and they Clydesdale all over the place, and they just do their thing over there, Lauren. Are you picturing it, Lauren? You've got to be very physically fit to do that stuff. And the ones that aren't, so the ones that are more portly, they just sit to the side, and they're like the cheerleaders. They just kind of rest in their chairs and their Barker loungers over there, and they just applaud and cheer. I guess while they lick their salt cubes or something. I don't know. Whatever the furries do over there, whatever they lick. Yes. So keep that in mind. Maybe we can incorporate that into the goodbye party. If you have any hay bales. Do you have hay bales, Lauren? You do. You can accommodate hay bales for this goodbye party. Some hay, right? Some straw. Wouldn't that be, we could have some straw on the floor. Not the drinking straws, but the hay straws. Could you do that, Lauren? I would like that. I think that would be very fitting. Right? Maybe we could do a piñata. We could have like a piñata shaped like a pony ass. A pony ass piñata hanging. I could almost be a party specialist myself. These ideas, you're just inspiring me. You're rubbing off on me, Lauren. I could almost be a specialist myself. What do you think? What do you think, Lauren? Do I have potential? A pony ass? Here's the thing, though. Could you save me a couple dollars? Because Buttlight is not a bright light. So I don't think... We probably are not going to need the blindfold for her. Just give us the stick. We don't need the blindfold. Save me a couple dollars. Because I'm pretty sure that she still won't be able to find that piñata with her eyes wide open. Because... You know what I'm saying? She's not the brightest... She's not the brightest butt in the room. So I'm feeling pretty good that we won't need to put the eye, we won't need that blinder. We won't need it. Right? Save me a couple dollars. Let's put that towards something else that we need. She'll just stand there and go round and round and round. Because that's another thing about Buttlight. She doesn't know 5 o'clock from 3 o'clock. Right? She doesn't know. She's just one of them people. Lauren, have you ever known one of them people that just, who am I, where am I, what's my name? That's kind of who Buttlight is. She doesn't know. Lauren, I kid you not. She don't know, Lauren. She's like, I didn't know that, she'll say. What does this mean? What does that mean? I didn't see that. I didn't hear that. She's just does not know. She never knows. So I'm convinced if you hang a piñata directly over her head and give her a 4-foot stick, that piñata, it will be as safe as Fort Knox, right? It will be as safe as Fort Knox. I kid you not. Yes. So yes, let's try to plan on that. Let's plan on that. Let's get a piñata, so we know we want the piñata. I just don't know. I know she likes to take it. She likes to take things and she'll take it and she'll take it, she'll flip it and she'll reverse it and she'll run a narrative on it. She's pretty predictable that way. That's one of her sayings, right? She likes that. She likes to say that. She'll take it, she'll flip it, and she'll reverse it, and she'll run a narrative because she's predictable that way. She likes to say that. I don't know who she says it about, but that's one of her sayings. Could we get that on a cake? Yes! Could we get that on a cake? Is that too long to put on a cake? Quote, she'll take it, she'll flip it, and she'll reverse it and run a narrative because she'll repeat it. I don't know. How do you say that? Can we get that on a cake? Is that too long to put on a cake, Lauren? She'll take it, she'll flip it, and reverse it and run a narrative because she's predictable. It's brilliant, really, isn't it? She came up with that all on her own. I kid you not. Buttlight came up with that all on her own. I don't know what the hell she was talking about. I don't know. Don't know who. But it was brilliant. Have you ever heard of the Discord? Yes. It's the Discord. I don't go up in the Discords. I don't go there. I fear the Discords. You've heard of the Discords? Yes, it's where the devils go. It's the devil's playground. Well, it's the Discord. Discord goes to Discord. I don't go there. No. But apparently she and her evildoers. Now I call them evildoers. I'm sure they're just saintly people. I'm sure they're saintly. Evildoers just rolls off the tip of my tongue easier. But they go to the Discords. Now I don't know what they do up in there. I really don't. But I'm assuming they do a lot of discording up there. They just Discord. So do you have anything Discordian? Do you have anything Discordian up in that party store of yours? Do you have any cords? Any Discord cords? If we could just hang some Discords from the ceiling, how about that? If we could hang some Discords from the ceiling, would that be... Yes! In all different colored Discords hanging from the ceiling. That could be interesting for her. Yes. That could be cute. I just, again, it's just that she's been verbally kicked by multiple creators on that YouTube platform. And I don't want anything to be too traumatizing for her. Not at this point. I really want to make it as fun as possible. Because the thing is, she really is a good soul. I mean, she's an advocate for trans people. Yes, Lauren. Now, I didn't realize that. As a trans woman myself, did you know I was a trans woman just by speaking to me? Lauren, did you know that? You didn't? Well, yes, I am. Green Lucia is a trans woman. Now, I used to think she was just making fun of me. She used to make fun of my feet and the size of my feet and all that good stuff. Until a friend of hers just said, well, basically, I was just misunderstanding her. She wasn't making fun of my feet at all. It was just her way of just having a fun little go at me. Just having a fun little go at me and just, if anything, just trying to make up with me. Just trying to be nice. And that I just misread her. I just misread her. And that really she probably just has a foot fetish. That's what I've decided on my... She just must have a foot fetish, right? I can't hate somebody who just has a foot fetish. Right, Lauren? You ever known someone that just has a foot fetish? Some people just like feet, right? Another thing I was thinking of, Lauren, while we're here, do you have any? I bet you get a lot of requests for E.T. themed parties. You remember E.T. that movie, Phone Home? You remember when they found that little critter? They found that critter up in the under the bridge thing. They found that critter up in the ditch. Looked like he'd been dipped in flour. Remember? You remember that little critter? He was all white, and he was like just looking all kinds of pathetic and sad, and we're all just started crying and boo-hooing. I'm like, poor E.T., poor E.T., somebody get him to make up quick, because he just does not look well at all. And we're all just boo-hooing and crying in the movie theater, right? Get you every time, right, Lauren? Well, don't you know, I was just thinking of that little finger that lit up. And I couldn't help but think when he raised that little finger, that little pointer finger of his, and it lit up, I just could not help but think of Buttlight. And I'm like, what if Buttlight's butt really did light up? Because you know, Lauren, her butt doesn't really light up. It doesn't really light up that I'm aware of. It could, but I don't think her butt really lights up. But what if it did? Could you imagine if it did? Right? What if it did? And what if E.T.'s butt lit up instead of that finger? It would have changed the whole theme of that movie. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if E.T.'s butt lit up and not that finger? The whole thing would have been like, it would have been like, Buttlight, phone home. You know what I'm saying? And that whole thing would have just cascaded right over to Buttlight. And we could have been having, instead of a goodbye Buttlight, right, party, we would have been having a Buttlight phone home party. Could you imagine it? Could you imagine it? Do you know how close we were coming to having that kind of party? A Buttlight phone home party? Lauren, are you with me? Do you know how close we could have been having a Buttlight phone home party if only E.T.'s butt lit up? That's how close we could have been to having this party. I feel like I want to write Steven Spielberg a letter. I do. Lauren, you don't happen to have his address, do you? His email? Because I'd really like to give him a piece of my mind. I really would. Has that ever happened to you where you just would like to give someone a piece of their mind and you don't have their address, Lauren? Because of Steven Spielberg and his lack of thought into detail and future prospects, I now can only give Buttlight a goodbye Buttlight party instead of a phone home party. Well, Lauren, I have to say, you know, I think that you've given me a lot to mull over. I'm going to let some of my friends know, and we're gonna bounce around some more ideas, and we're gonna see where this goes. I'm not gonna place an order right now, but you've definitely earned my business, and I will be calling you back to place an order, and we will be having this party. I'm so excited about it. I've never been more excited about throwing a party than I am for this one. I can practically see it now. Goodbye, Buttlight, in lights. Oh, she's going to be a happy girl. She is going to be a happy girl. Well, thank you, Lauren. Thank you. You've been an absolute pleasure. I sure do appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. Bye-bye.